Welcome all to your Intramatrix class. Today with your Miami trainers, Connie Nieto, Christy Dennis, and Tyson Haynes. Intramatrix with Miami, what does it mean? Let's find out. The power of Miami's Intramatrix. To get started, we invite you to visit miamirealtors.com, and currently, we have the information here where you can see that Miami and Stellar have shared data and more markets, more data, more possibilities. Our page takes us to Intramatrix here where we have information on the product, how you can reach it, and more. I'd like to start the class announcing the information provided here on Miami Realtors announces reciprocal MLS access collaboration with Stellar MLS. I'll share the words with you said by our very own CEO, Teresa King-Kinney. Miami and its data share partners are gaining even more listing exposure for their clients thanks to these landmark partnerships in key markets. Through Intramatrix, realtors can network, build exciting new referral opportunities, and make more deals. So what does this mean to us? You can visit miamirealtors.com/Intramatrix to get an understanding, see how this is growing, and see what areas are covered. Currently, to go into Intramatrix, you have to log into Matrix, and Intramatrix is on the upper right-hand corner where you can click through to the different areas of coverage. Intramatrix is Miami Realtors' powerful reciprocal MLS network that provides information and includes markets in California, Michigan, Colorado, Georgia, Ohio, Mexico, Northern California, the Mid-Atlantic, Central, and Southwest Florida, Puerto Rico, and more. Intramatrix provides you access to info. The cost? Free, F-R-E-E. This reciprocal access between SEF MLS Miami, CRMLS California, Dayton Realtors Ohio, FMLS Georgia, Omni MLS Mexico, RealComp Michigan, RE Colorado, MLS Listings Northern California, Bright MLS Mid-Atlantic, Heartland MLS Kansas City region, and Stellar MLS Central Southwest Florida and Puerto Rico provide you collective membership information with up to almost 500,000 realtors. You will be able to access all of these through your matrix, clicking over to Intramatrix. And further along in the class, we will open up Matrix and show you how to obtain information, how to do searches in a format that you're used to because it's a matrix similar to yours. Great questions always arise. Will I be able to enter listings? No, you are able to search and view. But the key element here is that you get to see, right, the remarks, the details, and direct contacts for agents, thus it allowing you to establish connections. Great questions are, did these organizations merge their data? No. Intramatrix is a feature that allows users from one MLS system to access another. It is intra from one area to another. Now, we want you to also notice that you have here news releases and information. So it is great for you to see that you can come in and see what's been updated. And the key to this, whenever you visit your page for Miami Realtors, you can come on the search bar, type Intramatrix, and visit the landing page that will give you details, and we will update every time an additional item has been added. Also watch for email messages and posts on social media regarding these updates and news releases. We have here the announcements made, the collaborations, excited to announce reciprocal, Bright MLS and other regions being announced, etc. When clicking onto the news releases, one of the exciting elements, especially on this last one, dated the 22nd of September, when you scroll down, you have this wonderful map. This map here allows you to be able to click and save the image. So if you want to share the exciting news on your social media, You can do so by using this image and explaining that you now have access to be able to assist your customers with obtaining information and being able to refer them out to realtors like you in these other areas. This is a great way, if you would like to be able to showcase all of the information that you're able to share. Again, just right-click and save and be able to do so. Some of you may ask, why is Intramatrix so exciting? Many of us here in South Florida would like to share or help our customers, right? Maybe if they're looking in other areas in the state or other areas including Omni, Mexico, etc., you can go in, obtain the information, right? Get a contact of a realtor there, establish a referral, and always be the go-to person for your customer with regards to real estate, opening up more opportunities, more referrals, and more information to you. Christy will now showcase more info. Take it away, Christy.
Dayton Realtors also serves more than 5,000 additional MLS subscribers. You get Southwest Ohio region. In Northern California, that's an additional 1,600 realtors and real estate practices. You've got another 6,000 real estate practices that will be listing throughout the Northern California MLS. Bright is humongous. Bright is 101,000 agents, and it is a powerhouse network. You get the Mid-Atlantic area, which is going to be 6 different states that you get access to. Heartland, MLS, Kansas City, you have another 12,000 realtors that are listing property. And then when you're going into Stellar, as Connie mentioned, you get Central and Southwest Florida. They also have a lot of land in that area that you'll now have access to. And they even have Puerto Rico as well, with another 59,000 professionals. So it's quite a lot of property that you get access to through Intramatrix that you can search at no additional cost.
As a Miami member, will I be able to enter listing into these other MLSs? No, you will be able to search and view. But we don't want you to think that you're just limited to searching and view. We're going to give you some examples when we open up Intramatrix so that you can see how you can share, right? And send properties to your customers. What we want is that ability for you to be able to obtain referrals, but always be able to answer your customer when they're looking for anything that has to do with real estate. This puts you as a pivot, an important point for when they're looking for, searching, right, or referencing an area. So if you have someone here in South Florida and they all of a sudden tell you, you know, I'm looking to retire, I want a vacation property, maybe close to the Blue Ridge Mountains or in Georgia, you have now have access by clicking in and seeing it in the format you're used to, Matrix. And we're going to show you that in a couple of minutes. These organizations, why did they do that? No, Matrix is a feature that Intramatrix is a feature that allows users from one MLS system to access another. So it's just a click away. If you're ever interested, all of the news releases are available on this page, including the collaboration with Stellar, announcements being made, Bright MLS, and other shares and items. So these are all here readily available so you could click. You can copy the link, share to socials, and announce what you have access to see. Some of you really like to do that. So you have the information here available to you. Now, let's continue. Let's see, Christy, what else could we show them? I'm going to come back to the home page, and we were here, but you have the information and the announcement on September 22nd. More markets, more datas, more possibilities. And here you have, when it was announced, the 18 counties, as well as Puerto Rico, that are now part of your capability to search through Stellar, right? And reciprocal agreements and more. So someone asked me recently, how do I know how this is growing? Well, the best way to know is to log in, see the Intramatrix page, but there's nothing like logging into the MLS. Christy, you ready to blow them away with showing them Matrix and what they could do?
Let's go ahead and go into the Matrix system and guide you through the process of how you can access Intramatrix and the different associations and the listings that you can pull. So starting on miamirealtor.com, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll down into the middle of the page, giving the Miami Gateway a little click. Once I click on that, the system will prompt me username and password, giving me access to the resource center. Your favorites are at the top. If you are not using your favorites, your trainers love them. Your other professionals love them as well. How can you use them? Each one of our icons does have a small star to the right-hand side. On the corner of each icon, you can simply click on that icon to make it one of your favorites. Now, we have favorited matrix. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And to create a seamless experience for you, they have integrated Intramatrix within the Matrix program. So within that blue floating bar, all the way to the right-hand side, you can find Intramatrix and all of the MLSs that you have access to. Here is Georgia, Mexico, California, Colorado, Michigan, Ohio, Northern California, Bright, Harlan, and here's that stellar MLS, which is Central Florida. This is the newest MLS that we have access to and the only MLS that's also associated with the state of Florida. Let's go ahead and open up one of our others. Let's open up Georgia. Once you click on an MLS, some things that may stand out to you is, okay, if I know my MLS, it's going to be really easy for me to figure out their MLSs. We clicked from Miami to Georgia. The biggest change here is, okay, it's in green, but all of these functions, all of these features, even the order of the board is things that we are accustomed to. If I wanted to start a search, I would hover my mouse over search. You have access to your regional, your residential real estate, your leases for residential property. Here are those residential income properties, our land, commercial, for sale and commercial for lease. If you want to search everything at once, you have that cross property. I can search for agents and office. Now, can I brand these systems? You can brand these systems. Underneath your name, you do have access to your settings. You can go into my information and you can manage your details, adding in your first name, your last name, title of employment, your contact information is available for you to add. You can update your header and footer if you happen to be interested in running a report or a statistic within the system. You also have your CMA cover sheet that you can manage. Your email signature is also available here, and a portal profile. Now, the portal profile is not currently available, but I am able to brand it so far. Once we've branded the system, we can come back in. I'm going to click on the dashboard and I'm going to run a search for you. If I have a customer that's interested in Georgia, for example, I would hover over search. Let's say they're interested in residential real estate. I'll go ahead and select residential. And my customer is interested in a particular city. My customer is interested in Dunwoody. So I went into the city of Dunwoody. I'm looking for active properties that are single family. My bedrooms and my baths are on the right-hand side, and I currently do not have a lot of inventory here. I have 28 matches that are available. I can click on results to access them. What do you get? Well, I can filter as we know how. I'm going to click on price. So a property that's available in Dunwoody, 28 properties, so low inventory in this city. I have a minimum price of $499,900, a max price of this neighborhood at $1,595,000. The properties range from a 3-bedroom, let me tap again, to a 6-bedroom home within the property. If I was interested in referring property or referring my customer to an agent, I do have access to opening up that MLS and finding details on those properties. Now, you do get listing information, tax information, photos, history, parcel maps, flood maps, and foreclosure details if available. As I move through the information, here are my public remarks, my private remarks, bedrooms and bath details, accessibility, features regarding the home, as well as legal and financial information, meaning how can my customer buy this property? We have our listing agent information and showing instructions are also available here. And I can access tax information using a system that we're familiar with, which is Realist. If I wanted to share property, I can. I can come back into my agent single line. I see there's not a lot of property here. So if I was interested in sending it through, I can roll on down. Here's my email option. I can create a new contact, add in my consumer, add in my subject. Let's do Dunwoody, Georgia. Add in a little test email. You do have a preview, so I can preview my email going out. It is going out through what appears to be one home. Here's their map view, their list view, and their grid view. Here is the setup that I created within my matrix. Here's my signature at the bottom, and I can send the property out. So if I'm familiar with our matrix, I'm familiar with all of the other ones. Now, there is going to be slight differences, whether that's going to be a field that's already included. Maybe they've named it a little bit different. They'll have additional qualities regarding the territory that we may not see in Miami. And then some of the features at the bottom are also going to be available in some of the MLSs and not available in others. So for example, I can send email here. I can also set up an auto email. I can click on save. I can do new save search. Dunwoody Homes. And
Your favorite customer.
my favorite customer. I've sent her properties for years. She has not purchased anything in the last 6. We will continue to try. I'm going to click save, and I have set up a save search. So it depends what you click on because, for example, if you go and click within Intramatrix and decide I want to take a look at Stellar, Stellar does not have an auto email function. So it just depends what they are having available for us to preview. My Matrix dashboard. All right, so we do have access to search, to save, to send, to brand within the different MLSs. Let me show you another one that I thought was very interesting, or another way that you can search within a territory if you're working with a referral. So let's say I'm going to go back to my recent searches. They're available on the right-hand side. There's my 28. Okay. So I want to refer my customer. I do have the option of coming back and clicking on actions, criteria, and I can do active and I can do closed. And this is going back 180 days in the city of Dunwoody. I have 125 matches. I can move into my results and I can choose to review agent information. So as we add additional rows and columns inside of, well, as we add additional columns within our Miami MLS, we also can do that here. insert column. I can key in agent, list agent full name. I can also find the buyer agent, selling agent full name. And I can verify, okay, how active are they in this neighborhood? So if I want to refer a buyer and I want them to have access to a list of individuals that worked with buyers previously, I can take a look at who is participating, who is selling in this area, whether you want the listing agent or you want the buyer agent, but the activity is there. So if I were to refer a customer, I'm referring a customer, letting them know I've researched the area and I found an agent who is active and specializes in that area. So that's a different way that you can use the system. MyMatrix dashboard. So these are some of the ways you can use the system. I want to pass it over to Tyson. He has a lot of great insight into Intramatrix and other ways you can use it and different spaces you can search. Take it away, Tyson.
All right, perfect. Just switching the screen over now. Okay. All right, now, just want to make sure that we also mention there is other amazing areas that we just recently launched that Christie's also covered, as well as Connie. What I want to go ahead and show you guys just real quick is some of the areas that we have access to when it comes to the Northeast. So we're going to go right here where you see Bright. I'm going to give that a click, and within that landing page where we were earlier, miamirealtors.com/Intramatrix, it does break down all of the different areas in the Mid-Atlantic, specifically in the Northeast, that we have access to. Just want to go over that one more time. Why I mentioned that is some of the areas when it comes to New York aren't there, but you can find listings in, and I've searched, they do show up in the Brooklyn area, right? So let me go ahead and open that up real quick. So right here we have the access for the Mid-Atlantic area, including all of the different areas, all of the different cities that are located there, including the states of Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, as well as West Virginia. Okay, once you do decide to go into Intramatrix and you want to find all of the different areas that they service, when you go into search, you go into residential. What I always recommend when you use these platforms is to take advantage of the little map search. What that will give you access to is the individual areas that they service. So let me do that one more time. Let me switch that over. There you go. All right, under Bright, give that a click. All right, and then access the map right here. And then that's going to give you the individual areas that they service. Okay. Outside of that, the other thing that we want to make sure that we mention as you take advantage of all of our different product and services, while yes, you do have Intramatrix located in your dashboard, you also have some additional services that we want to make sure that you know about if you have customers needing different type of properties in different areas. So I just want to highlight real quick a couple of those different services. So in your dashboard, you also have access to MLS Advantage. Now that's going to allow you to search for listings here within the state of Florida. MLS Advantage does have a lot of different associations that they provide. So when you go into MLS Advantage, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you're going to see a little button here that says MLS Participants. What that's going to show you is all of the different associations throughout the state of Florida that does supply listings into the MLS Advantage system. One thing that we want to make sure that we mention is when we're working with that prospective buyer in specific, and they want to buy a property such as in the Amelia area, Central Panhandle, Bonita Springs, the Citrus area, if we do not have knowledge on that specific market, we always recommend to go into these platforms like we've been showing. Go into services like MLS Advantage as well so that you can contact an agent that understands that local market so that you can receive a possible referral. Just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Okay, so again, MLS Advantage is going to be Florida wide, but there is some markets within Florida that you will not find within the Intramatrix system, and you might not find some areas also when you use the MLS Advantage system. So, as another alternative, I want to make sure that you guys know about this little button over here on the left within your gateway where it says realtor.com. The name of that service it's called Professional Search. What that is a nationwide system built for agents in order to find listings all over the United States. So, again, we have Intramatrix with all of their individual MLSs. We have MLS Advantage over here on the right, and we also have the Professional Search. Why do I recommend taking advantage of the Professional Search system besides looking at listings all over the United States? There's going to be some areas within Florida that you're not going to find listings in MLS Advantage, such as the Keys, including Monroe County. They're a little exclusive. So you can find listings specifically in the Monroe County area, in the Keys, as well as the Palm Beach Islands as well. Okay, so Palm Beach Islands is a little island right off of the coast of the mainland part of Palm Beach, and you can find their listings using the Professional Search system. Okay, another thing that we want to make sure that we mention is a service located here in your dashboard by the name of MLS Match. Okay, what is MLS Match? MLS Match is a referral network. Some of you guys might remember a service that we offered a couple of years ago by the name of Proxio. If you remember Proxio, go into chat and say, hey, I remember Proxio. Proxio was a referral network where if you ever had a customer that was needing to relocate maybe to another state, maybe they're looking to refer purchasing property outside of the United States, what agents could do inside of Proxio as well as inside of MLS Match is they have that customer that they cannot service, and they can go into MLS Match, set up a referral over here on the right where you see create referral. The agent can set up information based on a seller that's looking to sell a property outside of the area that that agent has a competency as far as working inside of. And you can set up a referral if you have a customer here. For example, a buyer relocating from Florida to another state or abroad, you can create a referral within the MLS Match system. The other thing that I would encourage you guys to do is to make sure that you go into the gateway, go into MLS Match. Honestly, on a daily basis, what you're going to see is referrals that you have access to, agents all over the United States as well as abroad that have customers that they cannot service, that you're going to be able to potentially assist. So as soon as you access MLS Match, it's going to take you directly into that referral marketplace, and you're going to see postings immediately as soon as you access the system. So, for example, I have one right here, a posting that was put into the system about 11 days ago from Matan Derry in specific with Golani Realty Incorporated. This agent's out of the Aventura area, and it's letting us know that this agent has a potential buyer looking to move specifically here in the Miami area. They are looking in specific at a commercial property at the minimum price range, as we can see, at 20 million. How I know that they're looking to purchase is it says it right here. Matan is also looking at a potential referral fee of 25%, and they're letting us know that that potential customer needs to move within the next 90 to 180 days. Okay. I want to make sure I mention when you see this little button here under applications, it's letting us know that there is 4 other agents applying to service that customer in order to purchase that commercial property. Again, make sure to come in here on a daily basis. There will be postings quite often when there's agents that need your assistance, possibly in order to secure a deal. The other thing I want to make sure I mention just real quick when it comes to MLS Match is make sure that you set up your profile over here in the top right. Give that button a click. Make sure that you set up your professional profile, enter the designations and certifications that you have, as well as the type of real estate that you specialize in, including commercial, residential, land. Be sure to incorporate your phone number, your social media, but most importantly, make sure to incorporate the languages that you speak. Okay. The other thing I want to make sure I mention, if you do speak multiple languages as you set up your profile, it's very, very important that when you select the languages that you speak, that you enter a little introductory about yourself in that specific language. The advantage of creating your account, I know my Proxio agents know this that used to use Proxio back in the day. The key is to fill out your information with as much details as you can, including all the languages that you speak. Why do I say that? Some agents may not go into MLS Match to set up a referral. They may have a buyer locating here to South Florida, maybe internationally or from another state. They may use the professional directory button over here in the top left, and they might look for an agent that speaks the same language as their customer. So if you fill out your information, you're going to show up here within the search results. That's the most important thing that I want to make sure that I hyper stress. Okay. All right. Now, one more time, we want to make sure that you guys know to go to the following website. It's going to be miamirealtors.com/Intramatrix. And always make sure that you hover your mouse over the Intramatrix button inside of the MLS. You're going to see possibly in the near future other MLS participants, other boards that we establish connections with that you can find properties within the MLS system. All right, that is going to be my portion.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our Intramatrix class. You can reach your trainers at trainers@miamire.com. Our class is also being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel. If you are not familiar, our YouTube channel is youtube.com/miamitrainers. We will also be presenting Intramatrix in Spanish at 1:30.
1:30.
It was a pleasure being with you guys.
Thank you so much for being Miami members. Always more with Miami.